All right, and for the last and fifth time of the day, we are back with beautiful Ducky and I. We are going to once again cover a match from across the pond. It's going to be the Bears, a well known American team, playing against MLP, who have quite some, I would say, EU reinforcements to help us spread the freedom. First of all, the Bears coming in under their captain of Chase. We have Muscles, Brain, Wallhacks, Draps, Melly, Major Kenway, December, and Octobear, who has been on the stream. Some of you might be recalling as an analyst before Wallhacks being switched in very, very recently into this roster here. Didn't play the group stage, I don't think. But yeah, all around good players here.
Yeah, they have the individual skill needed to bring it to MLP. With, as you said, a few European reinforcements, as you would call them. Even Kian's in the team.
Huh?
Watch Gamer 1, 2, 3.
Okay, dude. All right. Got him.
I mean, at least he didn't immediately be like, "Ah, yeah, that's me," you know.
Well, no, I would. Well, all right. Let's not delve deeper into that topic. I think instead, let us delve into the topic of pick and bans. What maps are we actually going to see? And it is going to be Mines and Tundra banned out, leaving us with
Ghost Town.
I do not believe my eyes. Ghost Town. 2 rounds of it. MLP starting on defense, switching into Muravanka. Bears wanting to play offense first. Steps then being removed. Himmelsdorf, possible map number 3, with Bears starting on defense. Prokhorovka, Sand River banned out, leaving Cliff as a cracker of a decider map. But first of all, Ghost Town. We have to talk about this map simply because we haven't seen it yet. A map that has seen quite frequent, I would say, a gameplay during the last few 7v7 tournaments, but we didn't see it quite a lot yet. It is going to be the matter of, are the teams actually able to defend if against this 3 tanks fast to cap and then 4 super heavies behind, this kind of strat that we saw during the last events, or are the teams not able to do it?
It will show. It's the first time we're seeing it in the tournament. We'll see where the meta lands. On an A, it's good. I like to see it. Where we are going to be. Who did you predict for? I cannot recall for the life of me.
And
even he can't. Nice preparation, Kian. You don't even know who you pricked for? Whose did you copy? Come on.
I think I was actually the first person to put in all my predictions for.
Oh my god, I think you voted for MLP, bro. Yes, I remember, because I asked you, are you sure about your pick?
Yeah, I think now the more I think of it, the more I think I'm on the A-King arc.
The A-King arc.
The A-King arc, yes. I believe that we have great things to see from this young Frenchman yet, but the question is he going to demonstrate it today or any other tournament?
Bro, maybe if he wins, that will motivate Insane to play again. The new reigning French top FC.
Well, it would be an interesting sight to behold, that's for sure. But first of all, obviously, N.A. King will have to prove himself in this event. There is the Bears as the team they have to overcome here. The Bears, a team that in the past have demonstrated that they are able, that have demonstrated that they are able to go far in these tournaments and win them. And they, even during the Winter Invitational, if memory serves correctly, they did do very, very well, even entering into the finals. So definitely not a team to scoff at. And all that is remaining, I think, is to ask ourselves, are we going to see the triple medium for Super Heavy Strat on Ghost Town twice or not?
I don't know. I think teams will just send more tanks to the middle immediately to deal with it. So I don't know if that is what we're going to be seeing like straight away. I somehow doubt it, actually. I don't know why, but I kind of doubt it.
I mean, the comfortable thing for any team that is on the attack, that they don't have to commit to something like this, even if they have that setup selected, right? because nothing forces you to do that strategy when
True.
you have those
But
tanks.
it was
You can
very
just do
effective,
something
though.
else. It was very effective, yes. And
Like, it
that,
was highly, highly effective in the games we've seen it. Was anybody able to stop it? I don't recall even.
yeah, exactly. Like there was one team that suddenly started stopping it, and then everybody seemed to be able to stop it, and then no one wanted to do it anymore, and then the map stopped getting played. We'll have to see because both of those teams were fine with playing it. I mean, I think MLP in picking it, and yeah, I am on the MLP train. Let's see if the Bears have something to say. They see the frowning faces of the Bears there, simply seeing me picking someone else than them. And fun fact, if all forecasters and analysts predict for them, the faces are going to be smiling.
Really?
Not this time. No, of course not.
I mean,
We could make it that way.
I could see it. I could see it. I mean, we've had weirder things like a lot of keyhand faces.
Not in the Million Pucks tournaments, though.
There's always another opportunity in the future.
I heard on during some events on some Discords there were even catch a keyhand events where those screenshots were getting posted. Yeah.
Potentially true.
Unfortunately, I saw the channels myself.
Keyhand, a local celebrity. I mean, he's easily recognizable when he's in Prague. If you see a Lambo that has map guides as a number plate, that is Keyhand driving around.
But yeah, that is my golden Lambo. The silver one has Cliff on the license plate. Anyway, Cliff. The battle is about to start here. MLP coming into this one. Double 60TP, one IS7, one mouse, and triple E5.
Against the Bears, double CS63, the T57, the E5, the double mouse, and a 60 TP. So, in terms of like brawling potential, gotta give it to MLP.
T57 can be a very effective tank, though. Brings a lot of burst potential to the table, even more brutal than the 50B, and it even reloads quicker. So that T57 heavy, especially on those like smaller kind of maps, can be definitely a worthwhile asset to have.
Very true. Let's see where we're gonna get though. I mean, we can already see no immediate cap pressure. That is not possible even if there's a lineup that they have. Yeses in. They're going for a slower, more methodical style. I'm surprised the Fox is on it. 7. Maybe he did some aim training recently.
We'll see how it all pans out here. First of all, the most important question that is now answered is there is not going to be the straight cap commitment by the Bears. They picked a lineup that was like maybe okay for it with that double CS and then having some super heavies, but the T57 obviously a giveaway that it wasn't. It wasn't entirely going to be that at least, and I think the problem for the Bears starts to be that now they aren't really gaining a lot of ground, and they're also not gaining a lot of information currently.
Yeah, no, but they're playing the really slow game. I mean, Kaname took a shot from a 60p. Muscles was spot on Niklas. Wally there lets the shell go loose. So Niklas knows that there's 2 tanks in this area, unless the E5 has binos.
Which would not be unheard of considering the scope of this tournament by now, but highly unlikely.
What is the Bears' way in to this defense?
Good question.
It requires an answer.
So right now, I mean, they're rotating away from the north. They need to overpush somewhere. And I think having like 3 tanks on that K-line could be a potential opening because like the 60 TP can't punish. You see there Ruev. He has no way to be able to help Niklas. Because if the CS, double CS and the E5, theoretically speaking, already would be on the way up there. The 60 TP doesn't do a shot, like only the E5 maybe with 2, but then the IS7 is sort of caught out. And the other thing is that the Bears in the city, they don't really have any kind of tanks that you really want to commit upon. Like they have the Mouses there, they have the potential threat of the T57 heavy there, they have the E5 in the city also, that is like the DPM potential that's going to keep peeking you from every single side. Big hits though into Wally.
Yeah, Wally in that E5, I think, taking a 60 DP shot or two to cross back up and chase, and Muscles are now
Oh.
on an adventure.
I mean, that is the Bears here right now trying to get an advantage, but it's all going horribly unwell. Exactly the adjective I would use to explain how they're feeling, possibly. As Niklas, they're not connecting into Wally, but currently that IS-7 staying alive, doing so very, very nicely, especially since Wally has the ammo rack here. That's going to be the pickup. That's going to be 2 CSs stranded in absolute no man's land.
Yeah, and they're not really going to be able to shoot anything even, and Niklas is going to control them now, not Melly and December driving through the open to go towards an A-King and Riv. I guess is where they want to make their play. They're going to take some more damage to even get across here. I mean, December already down towards 764. Conquistador about to come up reload, but it's actually going to be an A-King to shut it down. And now the CSs are trying to get involved. Kenway trying to get involved as well, but let's be real, Keith, the amount of guns, the amount of HP that MLP has is just such a major advantage that I don't think that the CSs, of which one has just died, is really going to make a difference.
Yeah, now we can see good focus fire here by A-King in that E5, putting one more into that T57. But Kenway and the mouse should actually be the most important focus down towards a 2-shot. And now Niklas getting collapsed upon by Muscles, but it's very, very annoying actually to engage that IS-7 in super close combat. Conquistador able to repair his ammo rack, so that's going to keep his gun effective. And now A-King behind that mouse is just going to put in shot after shot. Noxious with the pickup onto the T57, and the Bears in round number 1 in their Ghost Town attack crumbling here. That south play was not it.
You know, especially with the E5 taking all the damage, so he couldn't 1v1 the IS-7 anymore. I think that was the bigger issue, that the E5 never really got in a position where he could 1v1 the IS-7. And I also just think that comes down to the tank that's being used for it. E5 side, very easy to hit. I think an IS-7 might have been better for the job.
Yeah, but even then, considering the amount of damage that the E5 actually took, like even if 1 or 2 of those shots bounce, then Niklas on the top of the hill still wins his 1v1 IS-7 against IS-7. So yeah, they could have selected maybe a better tank for the job. Would have won them the game.
Is
I would
Muscles
argue no.
CS made out of titanium or what? Like, bounce 2 shells, one from the E5, one from the IS-7. Not going to be bouncing those though. Yeah, MLP coming in, very happy immediately. Very, very happy. Winning Ghost Town defense. Ghost Town, it's a map where we say that you can win both sides. It's not really favored to one or the other. So they're going to be having a real opportunity in the next round to have a super, super strong start.
Yeah, a good start already, though, for the team of MLP that comes into this one, establishing dominance, not really giving an opening towards the side of Bears. I mean, they immediately recognized that, you know, the cap play was unlikely, so they put 1 heavy tank north, 1 heavy tank south. I was a bit surprised to see the E5 actually in the north. As 1 second, I should be able to correct this immediately, because that is not the result we wanted to see. This one is the one, and December, no impact whatsoever.
Not really his own fault though. I mean, he's forced to make a play and it just doesn't work out. It's like, at the end of the day, you can't really fault December for that, can you?
No, not really. As I said, I was very surprised to see that E5 in the north taking what used to be a definite S-Conk position. Because, well, the E5 is good and all, and like it has DPM and a like really good gun. But what it also has is a pretty big cupola. And especially with the S-Conk, like if you start using gun depression, then that cupola completely vanishes for the S-Conk. It becomes impenetrable for AP, APCR. You have to get really lucky to hit it with heat, and you need high heat pen to penetrate it. All of those things aren't really an issue with an E5 because the cupola is going to stick out.
True. Yeah, a bit of a drawback for the E5, but it's still a very comfortable tank though. Once you learn how to play it, it is so fun, actually, with that nice DPM, nice heat pen. It's really just a joy. You do need to be at a certain level to enjoy it, I think, otherwise you don't. But once you get there, it's very fun.
Yep. And this now leaves us at a 1-0 after Ghost Town defense converted here by the team of MLP. The Bears are now going to go towards defense themselves. They're going to fancy themselves a bit of that Ghost Town, maybe hunkering down themselves. But in that first round, I wasn't really a big fan of the play that they did. Like, either it was MLP keeping enough information from them.
They had everything spotted though for MLP.
Yeah.
They had all the angles covered. Which is one of the reasons why the E5 of Wally took so much HP damage. There was an E5. I think Eric spotting him on the crossing. And those angles on Ghost Town, they kind of hurt.
Exactly. So this is where my concern comes in for the Bears, is that, like, if they're not able to take those angles away from MLP, and in this first round here they weren't able to, then this might come to hurt them once again, as we do hop into map video for round number 2. Once again, it's going to be Ghost Town, but MLP in round number 1 with that 7-1 scoreline, looking very, very healthy, looking very good.
Looking very good indeed, and now they have a real opportunity to take the second round here and actually get into a prime position to pick up this match. Which I think still would be a surprise to most of us.
I mean, even to me. I just, wanted to, once in my life, be different with the caster predictions. But let's see if the first question gets answered, which is the lineups. MLB going to be attacking, and they are going to be doing so with one IS-4, triple mouse, 1-2-7-7, and double E5.
And double E5 versus the singular E5 from the Bears, the singular CS, the singular S-Kong, the singular 277, and the triple mouse as well. So we have 6 mouses in this battle. That's a lot of HP.
That is a lot of HP. That is a lot of meat for both of those teams to chew through. I want to direct your attention at the fact that the only team that has taken a medium tank is the Bears, with muscles in that CS63, and that is actually more important than a lot of people might think, simply because this medium tank is able to roam, it's able to generate map control, to generate angles. So the fact that MLP don't have one means that they want to get those overmatches in the city. They cannot let the angles and the information that muscles is going to generate come into effect.
He's going to get some quick info. He's a 277 behind him. Rodri will spot him out, potentially even give him a shot. Nice, good shooting there. And Muscles using the staffs on the CS. I mean, why not?
I mean, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the CS gun. I think it is, not the most fun to play. It has trolled me way, way, way too often for me to enjoy it. But that being said, obviously in competitive play, especially the CS63, not only is the gun important, like the DPM is still good regardless. It just means that, sometimes you're not able to apply the DPM effectively, especially at range, but you're able to just drive around the map and, pick up those angles for your team, those crucial ones. That being said, though, Bears right now making short work of the HP for the tanks of MLP, as Ruev now starting to peek, gives one into melee here. And other than that, though, Bears with pretty good trades considering the HP that Eric is on.
Yeah, Eric and that mouse really not having a good time. He gets onto the cap on 677. That is too shottable. And now Bears up 4,000 already, man. I mean, how do you come back in this one? In the meantime, you can see on the north side of your screen, Riv here getting double teamed. Octo from one, Melee from the other. Riv is going to fall. And I don't think the rest of his team will be alive for too much longer after that. Even the Ignite as well on the move. Eric fallen. Conquistador is the next one. This initial play from MLP, maybe not the greatest.
Yeah, might remove the MP for that one. The million pucks going away. Only the L staying for the team in purple currently in this round number 2 here, as Bears, after taking a very unfortunate loss in round number 1, do show up big time in round number 2. And honestly, I don't have any other words but wipe the floor with this team, with a lot of European Legionnaires.
Yeah, those Legos are going to be crying their way on the boat back to Europe at this rate, to be honest. But it's still a long way away from that. For the Bears, it's a good recovery. Round 1 was a disaster. Round 2 was a disaster, but for MLP. Instead, they tried this gap play with angles, but I think the initial damage taken was already too severe to really do anything about it anymore. And once that damage has been dealt and goes down, there's not really too many recovery points for you.
I mean, especially take a look. Like everything happening now doesn't really matter anymore, but take a look at the HP that the Bears still have. This is effectively 10,000 HP. This is effectively half of the HP that they started the battle with. So,
Kian's getting better at math with every tournament, bro. It's impressive. We're doing his calculus homework on the side. What's 2 plus 2 key? 22. Yeah. There you go. All right. Yeah, I don't know. It was an attempt.
A very unsuccessful one, as the scoreline shows now, a 1-1. And honestly, I thought the first round went badly for the attacker, but my, oh my, the second one, just an absolute and utter roll. As we do see, well, 1 round of damage by Eric, but you know, you can't really blame the individual players here.
Yes, you can. It's all Eric's fault, man. You should have angled his mouse better.
Okay. I guess let's blame Eric and leave out the rest of the guys because the tactic was crap. Or maybe the tactic wasn't crap, but against what the guys of the Bears were doing, it just...
No, it's all Eric's fault, dude. That's a better strategy.
Man, poor Eric. What did he ever do to you? Did he not resub at tier 3?
Huh? Bro, that's an idea for Yuki Hunt. You make this war game in millions anyways, dude. Christmas is coming. Come on, bro. Stop pretending. We all know. We all know, dude. Jesus.
We all know what the next map is going to be, and it's going to be Murovanka with the Bears attacking here. Now, we said before that Murovanka is supposed to be an attack-sided map, but so far, have we seen a lot of it? Not really, eh?
No. I don't know. It's because everybody stopped pressuring that cap early.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Like, it seemed like a good strategy. Maybe everyone wants to be different and, like, tries now to do something different to surprise the defenders. But, like, if everyone does it, then no one's getting surprised anymore.
You know, to quote a very successful Polish FC, sometimes bad timing can be bad.
I believe that same person said that sometimes bad timing can be good.
I have a bunch of Frugal quotes somewhere, bro. I mean, I should honestly look them up and just casually drop them during the broadcast, slowly but surely, like Frugal quotes, and just like
drip feeding the audience with wisdom,
and seeing if anybody realizes that they're quotes from Frugal. I'm even trying to find them. By the next match, I will have found them. Don't worry.
All right, Murovanka coming up. We saw the map actually a lot of times today. Which it always is weird to me that every single iteration of VOD7 tournaments seems to have like a theme of a different map being like the prevalent one, being like the ones that teams want to play. And there aren't even really that many changes that are happening in between the iterations. It's just the maps switching in and out of favor for some reason. So, yeah. Cool to see though. Cool to see. It makes every single event like just that tad bit different to add some spice.
Add some spice, indeed. And let's see if there's going to be some spice in this one. Any curious tank picks? Is there a tank that we are missing that we haven't seen yet?
I mean, TVP, possibly. But then again, we haven't seen an inbuilt team in the finals on Cliff yet. So, you know, as soon as that happens, we're going to see a TVP for sure. Other than that, have we seen E100s? I think so, yes. Yeah. We've seen the 113, we've seen a 5A, we've seen a Rheinmetall of all things, we've seen an M454. Have we seen an E3? I don't think so. No Badger yet, right?
No, none of those.
Also, no V4, but since the nerfs, I don't think it's very viable anymore.
Still a good thing, though.
All right, let's hop into the lineup. 1-1 the scoreline. MLP looking to extend. 160 TP, double IS7, double 277, 1 skunk, 1 CS63.
1 CS63 versus the Bears, triple IS7, the Mouse, the Eskung, the E5, and the CS63.
All right, so moving into their Murovanka defense, MLP. So far, no attacking victories. Also, for a possible tiebreaker, that would be important. But this now being effectively a best of 5, not really there yet. But every single tank by MLP getting sent towards that 1-2 line. It seems that the Bears have left a trail, and MLP have picked it up.
Yeah, and the Bears are going straight for 1-2, but MLP is also going straight from 1-2. I mean, if it's a fight, either of the two teams could win, but it depends then.
That is indeed true. If it's a fight, either of the two teams could win. We'll see which one it is. Probably even MLP, as Muscles there with that CS63 completely out of the game, meaning right now it is 7 guns against the 6. Neither team knows it, but a lot of information here for the team of MLP that sent Niklas into the fray. But he is going to be the first focus as MLP springs into action with a lot more tanks. This is going to force the Bears into a lot of recommitment here, as Brain, the first one to get focused out down towards 770, is going to get picked up momentarily. Niklas from the top side trying to come in again with his IS7, overextending a bit.
Yeah, Niklas trying to get safe from all the guns, but he's just running into more. Everywhere he goes, there's another Bears tank standing and waiting. And yeah, they found Brain, but what else are they finding? Look at the crossfire currently available to the boys from the Bears. December on one angle, Chase on the other, Muscles in between. They're pounding these MLP guys from the left, from the right, and they're now moving back towards 1-2 line. They want to go on to wall hacks, they want to go on towards Octo Bear, but they've already lost a lot of HP on this little move, and Octo they're trying to pull to the top with Wally as well. Rodri and the CS not having a good one either, and I think this MLP push, it's not really finding any success. It found the first gun of the game, of Brain, but in return, they're now struggling to really find anything because the crossfire and the layers that Bears have is just too strong at this moment in time. Finally, they find something, which is an isolated melee, but that tank will shut down Noxious before falling to the guns. But as I say that, Okihan, the HP getting so ever so close, and there's a lot of that on Chase the Mouse.
Yeah, exactly. Wallhacks down to 871 needs to be very careful. Eric at the front lines there with that Eskong is able to brawl against Muscles, and now we'll have to see what they're actually going to achieve. Rodri there needs to be very, very careful to stay safe. Muscles there starting to engage. Does get the track shot onto the Superconk, who seems to not have a repackage. Shots coming in towards Muscles though here, who is for sure going to take one more by the Eskong. Good tracking shot once again. Beautiful aim by the NA player here, who gets one more into the S-Conk. Does not get the Ignite, but this should be more than enough that he needs, and he is going to make it a 4 versus 4 with Bears leading regarding the HP.
Yeah, Knocking there makes a peek, doesn't really get anything, wants to find Wally, but he doesn't really connect his shell while Wally does. Now this is still NA King's fight to win, because he's 3 shots, sorry, and Wally's a 1 shot. The Amarak, though, is going to add a little bit of the annoyance there, but with the experimental HP available to NA King, he will be able to shut down Wally, who does not connect on the shell, but does track to. That might be enough to reload once more. We'll see. He has 3 seconds left. No, it's not going to be the one. As Rodri falls in the offside, though, by Chase, and NA King finds Wallhack's Muscles now coming back in, but December from the top as well. MLP is defending, but look at the HP. I mean,
yeah.
Sure, Chase has most of it, but he just needs to kind of drive at them.
Yeah, Chase just needs to drive at them, and I think he's doing the right thing right now. He's recognizing that he needs to be basically the meat shield in front of both of his other tanks. That way he's driving to intercept any kind of way that the MLP tanks could have towards him, and A-King trying to drive towards the back right now, currently waiting for his rep kit to come off a cooldown just so that he can repair his Amarek once again. But the fact remains that MLP here currently on the defense, Ruet there, probably lucky to survive against that swing that December just took at him. And now Cap getting started, probably even with the Mouse.
Yeah, the Mouse just holding the fort. He's the tank up front, push into him, and these guys need 1 shot each basically to kill him. And he also needs 1 shot to kill Rev, 2 to kill NA King, and 2 to kill Tankistador. So it's just not really a fun scenario for the boys from MLP. Muscles
Oh, this is
readjusting as
so
well.
annoying.
Oof, they both miss.
They both miss, but now Muscles here with the flank. And in the 1v1 where both of those tanks spot each other at the same time, Muscles should be the winner. Because both of them are the one-shot, but Muscles obviously with a much quicker reload against an A-King. Very, very good situational awareness by the CS63, realizing that the IS-7 might actually be on the flank. He bounces though, and that is not going to be a good time for the CS63 player here. Needs to get that one more connection to make A-King in one shot. Does get it.
It's fine.
But
I mean, it's fine. This plays 1v1 now. I mean, an A-King can't go for him. Muscles can't go for him. So that's an even fight for Bears. It's fine, no? Why would they complain?
It is fine currently. Just Muscles cannot lose this here at the moment. A-King realizes that, drives towards him, and does get the pickup. Now he actually has the time to reload. Just cannot afford to die here. Tankistador now starting to peek from the upper side. Double cap gets started. Does get the reset, and this means for the Bears that now it's do or die with that mouse, with that IS-7. Tankistador, it's important for him to not get picked up here. Good shot by Ruev into the mouse, but it's actually December who they should be focusing on. He's the low HP guy. The 60TP barely managing to avoid it. He is looking towards December, gets the shot in, meaning the IS-7 is one shot. Tankistador, they're dancing around the house. Ring around the rosy is all he says. MLP 3 tanks, the Bears 2, the time 1:45.
Yeah, and A-King also closing the distance. December can't really go for Riv anymore because he took that shot from the 60TP, and that is annoying for the boys of the Bears because Tankistador can just play ring around the rosy, and if he does it successfully, he will find the support of his teammates. But Chase actually catches the 60TP there, who's now turning away, driving away. But I think Chase has an opportunity. No, he's Tankistador. He knows he can't be because of the I7. Time is an issue, though. Chase will find the 60TP. Now, though, and A-King, the fact that he didn't run away, he's finally moving out. I hope he just doesn't get caught on the hightailing it out of there because he's in C4, C5 right now. If there was a spot coming out from December, it would be a disaster at this moment in time. But it doesn't look to be happening. Chase finds him. Now is the question, can they spot an A-King? 50 seconds left here. They can't cap anymore. And A-King is driving in a per kill road. He's spotted, actually. Closing the distance may have been the end here for MLP. As an A-King now trying to hide behind whatever object he can find. And Chase lets a shot go. Doesn't connect it, though. Still has a dead load of December now coming in. And A-King picks it up. And now it's on the mouse, too, who's on reload.
I think the mouse might still be on reload. Not even sure if the 277 or ISM saw him. He does see him, but there is the house is in the way, and Chase is going to hate this house for the end of days. It's just not going to be able to give him the shot that he needs. And now an A-King there with 152 HP. He's going to embrace this building. He's going to embrace it with all that he has, probably even trying to drive towards it right now. The tracks are still, but the time runs out. And MLP, in a dramatic ending, are able to secure their second point.
Lost his 1v1, bro.
Yep. But the thing is, it only came this close after that because Rodri took a shot by the mouse for no reason and then didn't even retaliate when the mouse pushed him. Like, if the mouse is down towards a one shot, then, you know, a weird round, to say the least. A weird round. But at the end of the day, what did we see? Actually, a 1-2 line cap, a 1 cap commit by the attacking team, and it didn't win. So maybe that's why teams are not playing it anymore. Copium.
Copium, indeed. Yeah, for the Bears, that's a kick to the guts. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. They had that. They were truly ahead, and then the tide changes, and everything falls to pieces. And MLP again said it on Ghosta, but more here now having real opportunity. Again, to make it 3-1. However, I don't see it happening. I actually feel like we're going to go blow for blow until the end of this match. It's giving me those vibes. It's like neither of the two teams really seems to be ahead of the other. So we might be here for a while.
I mean, the Bears had it until they didn't, uh, which is always one of those, super flat lines to put out there. But essentially, it was their match to win, and they completely gave it away, like candy at Halloween. They, it's always kind of harsh to call out individual players, especially when they do like top damage, but realistically, Muscles should be winning that 1v1.
Or at
At
least
least 8 out of 10 times.
or at least
run away.
Run away. If he's alive, he can just go back to the 3 line and help the Malsize 7 push, kill the 277 or whatever. Anything, really, But an A-King there did a good job at the building. It's really hard for Muscles to be ready for the building to break and time the shot when an A-King, all he has to do is auto-aim the CS, basically, and drive over the building, and at the moment that he's about to hit it, click, and he will hit the CS.
Yep.
And Muscle still fired first, though. But I think he bounced.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is always when the i7 is coming at you like that, then as the CS, you actually have to adjust your aim for the lower blade. Whereas, I mean, the i7, if it auto aims, then if you're standing sideways, the only thing the i7 needs to avoid is hitting the upper plate, which when you're sideways, there isn't a large chance for that. Round number 4 upcoming, though, in between. The Bears, who are once again trailing in this match, and MLP, who are once again up around. But as we saw on map number 1, doesn't really mean a whole lot, does it?
No, it doesn't. We'll see now what they can bring into this one between MLP and the Bears. So, I don't know. I like I said, I think blow for blow, Kian. I think that is probably what we're going to see.
I mean, blow for blow. Hopefully there is not going to be a lot of blow-ups in the following round, because those have proven to be detrimental in the past to the teams who doesn't manage to achieve them on towards the enemy players. All right, let's hop into round number 4. Let's see those lineups. MLP looking to put themselves on towards match point. It is 160 TP, 1i7, 2277, double S Conk, and the CS63.
Versus the Bears, double Bat, double Conk, double i7, and the singular i4 because Octo doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, Octo kind of getting shamed by his teammates here, but then again, I honestly say that double bat chat, I love it. It gives me those, 2016, 2017 vibes back then when I was still allowed to play those tanks in comp.
Not anymore, though.
Not anymore. I'm the super con kind of guy now.
More
or
like the mouse
guy.
kind of guy. Yeah, like the mouse kind of guy, but yeah. It's okay, Kian. We still love you, even if you're not that good anymore.
Oh, well, it is what it is sometimes. Opening-wise, though, we do see the IS-4 once again getting sent towards the forest here in this by now well-known building with that little window in it, in which the IS-4 does exceptionally well because essentially you don't really see the hull. You just see the turret, and turns out IS-4 turret kind of good.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. The IS-4 goes into that window, and immediate rotation, though, from MLP back towards 1-2 line. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they could pressure the cap side.
I wouldn't mind so either. Like, right now, the Bears obviously still trying to feel out that eastern part of the map. They have the IS-4 committed, they have the bat shot, sort of chilling there with Chase, Muscles, the second one being rotated over. And they do know that, double bat shot against a singular CS, they can play kind of aggressive. They just need to be careful not to be caught out anywhere. But we, as the all-knowing observers, we obviously see that MLP is just going to make this a delayed one cap all in.
And honestly, I don't mind it from them.
No, I don't either. I think it's actually kind of a pretty good tactic. They don't know what the Bears are doing, and those bat shots, they aren't actually like set up and committing deep into the forest. There is no reason for them. Chase actually intuitioning over, but now in comes the choo-choo train. In comes the triple heavy tank into the cap. Triple cap immediately started. The time is on for the Bears to avoid match point.
To avoid match point, but they're currently not in a great situation to deal with this Mokian. I mean, sure, they'll get the ice. If that's the full 1-2 repush, MLP is so ready for it, no?
Yeah, MLP has everyone there, even the CS. The thing is, the IS-4 is driving through the 6-7 line. It will have to be the tank that provides the continuous resets. 10 seconds, or 10 seconds left on the cap. They do finally see the tanks in the cap. They do also see the IS-4, so they do know that they need to angle from it, but now we see the Bears converging on that cap. Not melee there with the first reset, so cap kind of halted for the time being, but at what cost is the question, as MLP spring into action. The double batchet coming over the one line.
Yeah, but the double batchet will actually find something in this, because MLP pushed forward by themselves into the waiting Bears, who say thank you very much. Good shot off from Niklas onto his muscles to pick him up, and now the Bears 3 pushing, which is kind of arguably a mistake as well. Kihan want to say that, because December out in no man's land, out to the garage in a second, as well as Noxious. Better 277 says December. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Come again anytime. Now, though, again, the bat coming in of Chase with the remainder of his clip. Good shooting, already picking up one. Doesn't connect the last one onto Noxious, though. Now, wallhack seems to be the next focus. But the good thing here for the Bears right now is that they have that double Escon brain and melee and crossfire, eliminating Noxious, eliminating an A-King in a second as well. And in the meantime, Roof is also already down. You have Eric, Rodri, and Taquistador not really involved.
Yeah, the main problem here for the side of MLP is that actually Eric was not contributing his HP to the fight. Rodri, arguably, didn't do it either, but he's the medium tank. He's very, very squishy. The S-Kong there in the hold-down position should have been moved up much more. And Octobear had been out of the fight for what felt like an eternity probably for the players of Bears, but the remainder of their team here actually able to pull it off and to hold strong against this advance by MLP that felt like it was sort of called too early, because they just need to wait for the double batchet to drive in and then blow one of them out of the water completely.
The bigger question, Kian, here that I have is, why did MLP decide to drive forward?
Yeah, that is a very big question, and I am afraid my answer is... Well, let's just say the question is so good that I don't want to spoil it with my answer.
You have reached Skihan's voicemail. I'm currently working on another map guide that will ruin the community. Please leave a message after the tone.
Well, there actually is going to be another one fairly soon, so...
wait, can't wait for it. What map is it on, Kian?
I'm not going to spoil the surprise for you.
No, just tell me what map it is so I can already put it on my ban list.
No, I'm not going to spoil it. It is coming kind of soon, though, this month.
I mean, okay. I want you to know that I've downvoted every single one of your map guides so far.
I know, I've watched every single time you've watched one of my map guides, so I do know what you're doing.
I've responded thanks Skihan's quite a few times, though.
Yeah, thank you very much for boosting the algorithm. Much obliged.
You're welcome. I was hoping that at one point you would quit, because you're satisfied, but apparently not.
All right, 2-2, the scoreline in between the Bears and MLP. And your intuition was very, very warranted. They are trading it currently blow for blow. You know who's not trading it blow for blow? Haruv. Able to dish out one, taking 6.
Yeah, bro, because they decided to drive forward into the Bears, dude. Like, if the Bears had to push into this crossfire, they would have exploded.
Yeah, especially with those batchets. I think that, like, when they called the push, the batchets were not spotted yet, and they were super afraid of the batchets just being able to roam, create crossfire, and getting those reset angles. But in the end, the batchets not even having the greatest of impacts, let's be honest. But yeah, that call to push off the cap was... not the one
an
that would have won
inspiring
them
call.
the game. It was a visionary call, but sometimes the vision is just crap.
It was inspiring. I mean, his team definitely looked inspired, pushing forward.
Yeah, it probably was well calculated as well, but it looked like they kind of suck at math.
Yeah, well, math is hard again.
Oh. I thought A-King liked math, actually, a lot. But not in this case, apparently. Now, though, we're gonna get ourselves at least 2 more games on Himmelsdorf, of all maps. So, the OG competitive map, possibly the decider, or we're going to get, well, the other OG competitive map, Cliff, as the decider. But first of all, Himmelsdorf, Bears defending first. Who do you see as having the advantage here?
I think it's 50-50.
I think so too, actually. Because I did see like the matches yesterday also from the NA players, and it was sort of like hit or miss with the swings on Himmelsdorf especially. It was like very commit heavy, if you know what I mean. Like they tried to catch the enemy team off guard, and like either it worked or they debated themselves sort of with a lot of the commits that they played. So I'm not able to make out like a clear favorite anymore. I mean, realistically speaking, I think that the Bears' victories were a lot more like clear than the MLP victories. But to be honest, that doesn't really matter.
I mean, I don't know. I honestly think it's blow for blow. I really don't feel like either of these two teams has shown enough to get a win.
Well, we'll see. Lineups coming up in round number 5. 2-2, so we're left in a best of 3. Either team with the possibility of finishing it off on Himmelsdorf. That is going to be the question moving forward as we do hop into the lineups. MLP, double 60TP, double Ice 4, triple E5.
Versus the triple E5 of Bears, the Minnow, the Mouse, the I7, and the 60TP. That MLP lineup can brawl very, very well, but so can the Bears, though.
Both of those lineups lending themselves towards a brawling. Split-wise, we see Melee and December in the Mouse and the 60TP for the defenders getting sent towards the 2-cup. Everyone else kind of 1, 2, 3 line heavy. And for MLP, sending triple E5 over the hill, 60TP and Ice 4, 8 line, 60TP, and that is, I believe, another Ice 4 getting sent towards the west, where a lot of Bears tanks are going to go. Octobear with that move over the courtyard is going to single himself out by doing that. Not sure if he fancies himself a bit of Ruev here, who doesn't connect his snap.
Yeah, it doesn't connect the snap. Yeah, I like how we just zoomed past it. Feel like 3 people. Brave. Chase now taking the position. Too bad that MLP doesn't have a VZTD yet.
I think even a Wheezy TD, not sure if you would be able to pen that. We can see Eric trying.
Yeah, there clearly should be a weak spot, no, on that turret that you could shoot at?
I mean, I saw a Minotauro in the past, not sure. It seemed to be some YouTube video. It was also on Himmelsdorf, and it was in one of the windows. And even Jagdpanzers weren't able to penetrate the armor, so...
Sounds like a cool YouTube video.
I think it was on this channel called The Killzor. I'm not entirely sure.
You had to ruin it, dude. You had to ruin it. Why you gotta be like this?
I wanted to give you a shout out.
Stating the obvious, SMH.
Yeah, bro. Stating the obvious, but you know, I'm afraid some people haven't heard of it actually, because you're much more active on Twitch.
True. The rotations though from both these teams. I mean, Muscles and Brain now coming back, where the triple E5 from MLP is also massing up on that 0 line position right now. So that really brings it to a 3v3 again. Then Wally rotating as well, but Niklas and Verve are pushing up. The name of the game right now is rotations and who can be slightly ahead of those. And to me, it looks like the Bears may have the better ends at this moment in time, because they have that 3 tanks north as well and a 60TP that could give a shot.
Well, Brain taking one here for that cross into the window. And Muscles there trying to do what he can, but we can all see that his cupola is actually on the kind of wrong side for side scraping this way, as Noxious takes a swing into the 8 line in the upper half of the screen. And honestly, like looking at the minimap, who is going to cover the Minotauro right now if the 60 TP and the IS-4 start driving onto it?
The E5 will come in quickly, but he won't get pressured by the IS-4 now. Rove is actually just gonna cross over, and they want to pick up the size 7. It looks like the name of the game is Octo Bear. Chase now relocating in the Mino to try and give some shots at the very least. December is being pressured back by the D5. First big shot comes in already. Towards Octo, the second connecting as well. Chase not with that Mino being able to connect in return. He'll be forced back because of the IS-4 pressure in his side, and Octo kind of left his own devices. And for the first time in this match, this is a very well executed attack so far by MLP, really finding the overmatch that they're looking for. Pen ratio could be a bit better because Octo's still alive. You know,
yeah, Ruev there with that swing, not really connecting. Rodri now with more pen, trying to make it work. Noxious, though, getting picked up in that 8 line, too deep, too far with his E5. And exactly, yeah. That E5 was very, very important. Now it's double E5 against a double E5 here. Eric and Aking starting to cross over. And they are just going to have to play better. And indeed, they do have the target to single out. It's going to be Brain. Muscles there trying to shield his body. And Aking trying to get behind the corner. We can see here that Brain drives away, takes the Emmerich, doesn't seem to really have anything to repair it anymore. Does Eric get another shot? He does not, as Muscles tries to run away here. Aking down towards a 2-shot as well. Chase once again in the hull town. Eric with the ignite. And it is still anyone's game, especially when looking at the HP.
Yeah, now Eric is going to come in. Oh. Bounces against Muscles.
Oh.
And Aking also bounces against Muscles. Muscle says thank you very much for a little bit of a freebie. Gets 2 more shots out of that little ordeal. And now, though, it's a 5v6. Nicholas being pressured by wall hacks. To be honest, the IS-4 gun compared to the E5 gun, I'll take the E5 any day of the week. And now these tanks in the G-line, kind of a no man's land, bro. On one hand, they have the Mino and the E5. And on the other hand, they have the hit squad of IS-7 miles and 60p. All this time, and Eric and Aking just driving down the 8 line, trying to find some place to help their team.
Yeah, good further shot by Brain. Does get picked up by Eric. Both of them are on a 2-shot now. Nicholas there just getting pressured. Just getting power played here by Chase, who keeps driving with that Mino. Big trades coming out, though, against Ruev here. December with a big pickup onto Aking. And now looking at the HP, it doesn't get better as Rodri falls. 3 versus 5. MLP very, very low HP on basically everyone except that 60 TP. As Eric in that 8 line, I think the push, it finally has met an end. It's going to meet its demise as Octobear does not pick it up here. Does get killed by Eric, but in comes December. And all of a sudden, it's going to be 3-2 for the Bears themselves, as they, for the first time in this match, do secure the lead and do secure the match point.
It was looking so well for so long.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah, that repush from the Bears is good, though, across the AB line. Caught Noxious in a bad position. I think he should have started reversing the moment they went for Octo, because he already knew there was 2 tanks there. He could have also been on 0 line, but also the pen ratios against Octo are just not good enough, man. I'm kind of curious how much he bounced, because I think I saw at least 3 misses.
952, 864, 442, 865. I mean, nothing too egregious as of yet. It's basically how I would, describe my random gameplay. But you'll have to see Octobear.
Maybe
2K
3
bounce.
years ago. 2K is a lot for an i7 there.
Yeah.
That's a 60p shell and like 3 shells from other things. So
yep. So yeah, him surviving there was actually very problematic. And then I think also the fact that Noxious committed in with that E5 into the 8 line, which enabled the Bears to pick him up like that. And also Rodri just, not really having the best kind of games. Because he did get essentially 2 shots for free into the Mino, and that's all he did. Like the rest of the time, he was just not having an impact.
It is, though, good for the Bears.
It is very good for the Bears, who now are on match point, and I think it's also good for the people who predicted 4-2. for the Bears, which I believe you are one of them. My prediction
Potentially.
down the drain.
Potentially.
But if MLP is able to put one more onto the board, then we will indeed go towards that tiebreaker. So far, I think the score is kind of, deserved. The Bears have shown, I would say, better gameplay overall, but I think 4-2 would be too harsh of a scoreline. It obviously depends if they show.
It doesn't
just
matter, yeah. As long as they win, if it's 4-3 or 4-2, a win is a win, you know.
Did you get that from Frugo?
No, actually.
Oh,
He reminded me back on my search for Frugo quotes.
all right. Back on the grind. I see how it is.
Back on the search, see. I found the channel. I haven't really found too many Frugo quotes, though.
Oh no.
Not good ones, at least so far.
You think there are many good ones, or are we just picking the pearls for us and then put them here in the stream? Anyway,
to quote Frugo, he had, never in this case, even don't say never, even in this case, never say never, never say never. I'm not even joking, dude. The man actually wrote that down, dude. It was posted back in 2022, and I still haven't figured out what it meant.
Did he post it on? I mean, his mind was probably buzzing. All right, MLP coming into this one. Double 60 TP, IS7 mouse, triple E5, trying to stay alive.
Versus the Bears. Oh no, dude. They're picking the 0% winner shot thing. The VZ, the CS, the mouse, the IS4, the W100, and the 60p. Now, at least we figured out who Cashback was training against.
Well.
Explains why they lost so early.
Oof. Shoo! Tucky there, immediately murdering people in broad daylight. All right, as we do see the initial splits coming in, double 60 TP and mouse for MLP driving towards the 2 cap. Everyone else 1, 2, 3 line, so that's a 3-4 split. For Bears, we see the CS trying to get some early information on the rails, while everyone else is, on a little climbing party.
A little climbing party as all of them are going over the hill with just the CS63 to spot 1-2. He doesn't actually find anything, and this is kind of what we saw from Cashback.
Yeah. How does Muscles get outspotted here, actually? As Rodri misses that mouse angle. Very recently has it come into the minds of a lot more people, and that is very, very effective. Well, we'll have to see if it's effective, but very aggressive gameplay, and that WZTD not being used this time to control the G23, but instead we see it trying to aim on towards the mouse roof. And I think from that distance and from above, he might even be able to hit one of those shots onto the wiggle. I mean, even the upper plate should be a pen. Takes a swing, doesn't connect though. The mouse trying to retaliate, but if I'm Rodri, I don't want to continue trading here. He doesn't get a shot into what's one of the crossing tanks, but the WZTD with that shot actually opening up the angle for the mouse to get the spot, and that is a lot of information. This is why we see MLP now exploding into action in the southern part here.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears just taking that A-line crossing. They're going to start capping on it, and the good thing for the Bears is what has not been taken by MLP is A4. They don't have the window. And Muscles with the CS, using these cheating positions to surprise unsuspecting opponent. Muscles careful. The 60 DP with the big swing. Nana King taking another shot. Muscles is having a good time, dude. Continue going one by one. Give Muscles 4 shots. Oh, no. Oh, Niklas, you want one too?
First of all, the cap has been started though, and the problem for MLP here right now is that they're driving into a setup that consists of double A100, 1 mouse, 1 IS4. That is a lot of beef. That is a lot of meat that you have to try to drive into with those E5s. Now the mouse is going to be the sponge here, take some shots already, but from the top positions, you see that WZTD having a good time as well on the cross. And he did bounce.
But oh, they're shooting volley though. That's Octo as the whoa of Steal, finally, big connection from Rove, but has the damage been done? The VZTD looking to finally land a shot. Oh, he does 742, the best tank I've ever seen in World of Tanks, the VZTD. But this is a cleanup here almost for the Bears, who've done so much damage on this crossing and everywhere else that even without the VZTD, they would be in a great position.
Yeah, I mean, this time 6 versus 7, the Bears are able to pick it up. The WZTD, once again, not with an impact, but just like other people in rank, this tank is gonna get carried to a victory.
Wow.
And we do see Noxious getting taken out next. It's going to be 5 versus 3. December still on a one-shot, but the Bears with 9,000 HP are going to make short work. Once more, the WZTD with a big connection, not that it matters or that it was important, but the 0% win rate tank is no more.
Still 0% on EU.
Oof. And I think the Rheinmetall also, no?
Yeah. But yeah, the Bears, at the end of the day, Ken, you're right. They did show better gameplay. That warrants them picking up this whole match. And I have one more quote left in me. Minotaur is a bad tank for tournaments. If someone will pick, this tank is not great. But I would rather permaban, because why should we have such a tank for camping position? I guess that one didn't turn out quite that right, did it, Frigo, at the end of the day?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is what it is for us. It is a night then, but first of all, let's take a look at the post-battle result screens, where we see the WZTD with a scoreline of a whopping 6-3-2.
Yeah, bro, it was like, I'm not good enough for this VZTD. I'm sorry, like, he bounced the most twice, I think. I mean, I don't know, bro. I'm not seeing. Maybe it's the replacement of the E3, but
yeah, it's just not it. I'm sorry.
I mean,
like,
it's more
yeah.
mobile than the E3 though, and in that hold on position on zero line, it's probably not that bad. But
yeah, nah. I'm still not the biggest of fans. Maybe tomorrow will give us something else to think about. Maybe tomorrow the WZTD will actually shine, because so far it's been unable to do that. But Ducky, thank you for a wonderful day 2 of the Million Pugs VOD 7 and number 13. We're going to be back for you guys tomorrow at 16 CST, that is 14 UTC, so the same time as today essentially. We are, by the way, gonna be raiding this beautiful gentleman here to my right, where you will be able to continue your drops until I think 2 a.m. European time. So that is, that's like 4.5 more hours if Ducky stays live for that long. Anyway, though, thank you very, very much, and we'll head over to the analysts to see what they have to say. Guys, Toxic, Insane, take it away.
Are you sick and tired of being relentlessly shamed for your lack of skins and loot boxes and other cool things? Well, don't worry about it. We've got you covered, Jimmy. Hi there, we're Million Pugs. You've probably seen our logo on stream. Well, here's what we actually do. Million Pugs earns you skins and in-game rewards whenever you shop online. When you shop with any of our partnered brands, you earn our own loyalty points, called Pugs. You then swap those Pugs for some spiffy World of Tanks loot like premium tanks, premium account access, and gold. Anyway, head on over to millionpugs.com now and sign up for free.
Thanks a lot, guys, and well, that's it for the little ponies. Toxic, we have to say goodbye to them as they are dropping from the losers bracket, and in the meantime, Bears are going to be moving into the next round. They will be facing Escalate in the finals of the losers bracket. What did you think about that match? I felt like both of those teams did bring very sloppy gameplay.
I'm gonna be honest, if they, I mean, MLP is all out, but if Bears performs like this tomorrow, they might have a chance versus Escalate, but not versus Smile. Smile looked very convincing. I would say the only convincing NA team that we've seen today. I mean, for MLP, the NA King today didn't stand for North American, but more for non-available. So that spells disaster for them as they go out in the 4th place in this tournament, not even making it to the top 3.
I would tend to agree. I think that Smile is definitely on another level. If you take in consideration Escalate and Bear's performance today, we would probably expect them to take the victory, but we will get to see that tomorrow. Now let's probably take a look at the replays to see exactly what happened between Bears and MLP as we were starting on Ghost Town, and it was a very standard defense from the side of MLP with this IS-7 over the K line, and you will see that Bears is trying to find the opening over him with the help of the E5 of Warlocks that was already pretty low HP.
I think for Bears the issue here, or at least that's how I saw it, is that they didn't really have a game plan. They just had some sort of starting setup, but then didn't really know what to do with it. So MLP, all they really had to do is take the map control and control really all the engagements that Bears could throw at them, which they did beautifully, and went up in a very, very beautiful fashion in 1-0. This is actually a match that I really liked from MLP, and this gave me quite some hope for this series, actually.
I think the issue is that I sent from Niklas, since Warlocks dropped very low, pushing the K-line to reach him, they didn't manage to take him out, and then they felt forced to push over the base too, not even going for the cap, but trying to get and reach some tanks. But MLP was on point, well positioned on their defense, but next up it was the Bears on the defense, and you could say the same about MLP, not finding a weakness to exploit from what Bears proposed. Tried to go for the engagement of the cap, tried to do some pressure with Tankistador and Eric, but you could see that Bears, the positionings they had and the angles, this did bring a lot of damage to them. You could see 4k, 5k, and then even at the end 6k HP up, full control for the Bears.
I mean, what really shows you how easy this was for the Bears was the fact how much the MLP HPs dropped in a very, very short amount of time. I think it was like 5,000 HP that they lost within 30 seconds without even really pushing all that much. So they didn't advance, lose 5,000 HPs, and Bears, you see it here, they still have like 13,000 HP left to deal with whatever MLP wants to throw at them. So there was no chance of them coming back.
So this run on Murvanka was probably the sloppiest one, I'd say, because you had the feeling that it was not bad for the side of MLP. Like right now, it could stop, take down Brain, but you could see that Niklas went on an adventure on his own on the top with this ISN and dropped. And then this push is correct, going after not melee, but it was too late because they already started to pressure over E3, took a lot of damage. You could see that Bears, they were HP up, position up, even though they were one tank down. And you had the feeling that at the end they would win that, but making against the muscles here, making the clutch play, making it work with his IS-7 just before there was a big miss from the side of the CS. And you will see that at the end of that round, he will just manage to get away on time on a one-shot chase, not having the angle to take him out.
Yeah, both of those Murovanka rounds really looked very interesting, I would say, because we had Bears throw their match, and then we have MLP here who have a decent initial. They just decide to push in for some reason. Yeah. However, they are not the only ones to make mistakes. I want you to keep a look at Muscles here, who does 2 shots in his bed shot and dies in return. He even got the third one out. Yeah. We gotta give credit where credit is due. But there was no reason for MLP to push in here, because that's ultimately what lost them the round.
I mean, they have the cap pressure. They have most of their tanks on that side of the map. Only the CS was a bit away, but it's a CS, it's pretty fast around C3, C4. They essentially only have to wait for Bears to actually make that push and punish them for it. And instead, you saw those triple tanks in the cap actually going forward. And that's definitely a mistake, and that's pretty hard to understand what's happened in their mind to do such a play. At the end, well, 2k HP left, 3 tanks for the side of Bears, so I think that MLP, if they played that one out better, they could have been leading 3-1.
They probably could have, easily, but I mean, Bears also kind of threw their move around, so it was just throw after throw after throw. Here on Himmelsdorf on the other side, I feel like the first match that Bears played was actually rather decent. There was some misses here and there from MLP that we are able to see here. Aking and Eric maybe need to go to that QB school of tankers to learn the weak spots of some tanks. But great stuff from Bears here, actually finding a way to not just camp in their defense, but also be proactive a bit.
I mean, honestly, I thought that MLP had better positions because they could start picking over the courtyard to Just take down the tank in here without many punishments from the side of Bears. On top of it, you could see that this Mino was getting caught by a tank in the back. But at the end of the day, Bears with the individual plays making it work, so good stuff. Match point for them as they were on their attack on Himmels, and you could see that this pretty like famous A-line attack with the cap worked really well for them, as they were capable of taking 3 damage on the approach, especially with the CS from the hill. And then, well, it's a straight brawl, it's a straight engagement, but they have the perfect tanks for it. E100s, IS4, Mouse. Maybe the VZ is questionable. I mean, I would like to hear
No,
about that from you. But
I mean, you can say what you want, but this would not have been a win without the WZTD. Actually, if we look at the statistics on the NA servers for the matches that we broadcasted, the WZ brings out a stunning 100% win rate. So it's actually a really good pick here, and I'm glad that Bears decided to show us the potential of this brutal tank.
Okay, I see. Well, I wish it was the same on EU, but yeah, well, on NA, it worked for the Bears. They're going to take the victory 4-2. We already mentioned that they're going to be moving into the finals of the losers bracket against Escalate, and then the grand finals against Smile, which is probably the best team we have seen so far on the NA brackets. We should probably take again a look at the EU brackets to just summarize what we'll have for tomorrow, because we have a few teams left. As you can see, Hopur is going to be waiting in the grand finals, and there will be 2 matches to be played before the losers bracket one between Hit and Run and Tango, and I guess most of us will give some credit to Hit and Run for this one. And then W is gonna be waiting in the finals of the losers bracket. We also have to remind that all of those matches will be BO7, but the grand finals BO9.
You know what I'm most looking forward to? If Hit and Run actually wins versus Tango, we will have a rematch of W versus Hit and Run. We all really thought Hit and Run would be winning in match 4, but then W stomped them 4-0.
Yeah.
So having a rematch of that will be very, very interesting to see, because for Hit and Run, if you go into such a match, it's like, are you maybe even a bit afraid of facing W just because of how much you were humiliated by them already in this tournament? So that's definitely something you would have to tune in tomorrow to see.
Yeah, I mean, Hit and Run, I don't think that they care much about the stack on these tournaments. They play better when it's a bigger one, like they did, for example, for the WCI qualifier in the past. But maybe W managed to trigger a bit their ego with this 4-0 dominance that we have seen in the winners bracket. So it's going to be definitely interesting to see how it's going to be played out tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to be starting at the same time, 16 CST. So make sure to tune in for the last matches of both EU and NA tournaments, where we get to see who is going to take the victory. Well, Toxic, once again, it was a pleasure today to have this game to analyze with you. I will get to see you and all of you tomorrow, and maybe have one last word for the viewers.
Well, just a quick thank you to everyone involved. Thanks to the viewers for tuning in, and I wish you all a wonderful night. See you all tomorrow. Claim your drops at Ducky's channel if you haven't, and that's it for the evening. See you all.
Bye-bye, good night.